Hello, everybody. It's Barb Dunn at our podcast, Keeping Locals Local. I'm here with Liz Galvan, and she and I go way back. And I can't wait to have you hear her story. So, Liz, here you go. Take it away. Tell us what you are doing, which is a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna keep it simple to what I'm focusing on right now. So my name is Lizeth Galvan, and I help people prepare their estate plans. I used to be a notary when I lived in Vegas, and when I was a notary signing agent, I signed a lot of people that were coming out of the probate process, selling the properties and things like that. And while I was doing that, I learned a lot about probate, and I saw how horrible it was when people were losing their house. And I would sit down with some of my signers, and I would just cry with them because at the end of this process, they would left with very little money, and they just didn't know what happened. You never know when your day will come. We're here for a very short time. And that kind of drove me to learn about how to do estate planning so I could reach out to my community, Latino communities. People think that setting up an estate plan, it sounds something rich and fancy. That's something for the wealthy. And you think it's going to cost a lot of money. And it can. If you go to an attorney, if you have a lot of things in a complicated structure, it can be very expensive, but it's not something that is not attainable. So I make it affordable and I make it easy to understand. It's something that everybody needs. If you have a property, a trust. If you don't, minimum a will. If you have children, if you have pets, you need to set those things up. So I'm very passionate about that because of the experience, because of the people that I've met, because I don't want to see people suffer. And if now I have this knowledge, I can't keep it to myself, right? I feel like I have to pay it forward, pass it on. And if people decide to do it or not do it, that's fine. But at least they can't say they didn't know.
Right.
So I want to make sure people are prepared with that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm working on. So my goal is to help 2,000 people set up their estate plan. That's what I'm focused on right now.
That's a good goal.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, where you're traveling all over the place, where are you currently?
I'm currently in Peru. And I'm going to be traveling to Puerto Rico after on the 20th. I'll be traveling to Puerto Rico for the holidays. I grew up in Vegas mostly, so I like the heat. But even though in Vegas it does get cold in the winter, I ended up living in Puerto Rico for a year, and it's summer year round. So I'm cold here in Peru right now. I'm going to be over there. I want to be at the beach. I want to relax. It's my happy place. It's my zen. So I kind of get to relax and enjoy the island for a little bit, but it's also a good place to work.
Yeah.
So I could work remote and have that peace and reach out to all the Owners Club family and sub two, and then all my clients.
Well, that's what I'm feeling. I'm out now for the ski season. Well, I can ski in the end of February, beginning of March, so I'll get good skiing in. But until that time, I'm thinking, why am I not someplace nice and warm? I can walk every day. It's kind of appealing.
Yeah, 100%.
My rethinking. So tell me, how could somebody just start? Like, I'm trying to think. Oh, say my daughter.
Mhm.
Okay, she's turning 30 this week. So what would be the steps she should take to go forward? She rents in Seattle. She
Mhm.
has a great job. She measures greenhouse gases around the world. She implements plans for cities and states to actually reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So she's doing really well. So what could she do, or how would that work? What's the first step? Because
Yeah, the first
go ahead.
Yeah, the first step would be I would get on a call with her and just answer any questions that she may have, go over like the things that she has. I also have a test on my website, Elite Legal Docs, where you could answer some questions. It'll tell you like, hey, you need a trust, you need a will, or you need an attorney
Mhm.
based on their situation. But for most people, if they're single, they don't have like any assets like a home or things like that, I have them prepare a will and then the power of attorney. So all my packages come, the trust package is a trust, the will, the financial power of attorney, medical power of attorney, the trust cert, and a deed to fund that trust, because to transfer the property into the trust. For the
Mhm.
will package, it's the will, the financial power of attorney, and the medical power of attorney. The will cover all the things that you do own if you want to leave any gifts, any possessions. So I start thinking about my stuff. Okay, I have purses, I have jewelry, I have my technology. I have stuff that has value or sentimental value, right? So I put all those things on there and I give it to my family. As far as pets, so if your daughter has any pets, then who's going to be the guardian to those pets?
Right.
I love dogs. When I would leave my dog with my sister, I would let her know my dog needs to sleep in your bed because that's the life that she's accustomed to. You're not going to put her outside. She's not going to sleep in a crate. She's not going to sleep in the bathroom. She's going to sleep in your bed. Your dogs could go sleep outside. My dog sleeps on the bed. And she understood because my dog will cry the entire time because she's used to sleeping with me, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to leave my dog with someone that's not going to treat my dog the way that I want my dog to be treated.
Right.
I'm not going to treat him with someone that's going to lock him up in a room.
Yeah.
So you have to put those things into consideration. If you don't leave a guardian for your dog or instructions for your dog, most times those pets end up in a pound. The pounds are already saturated and most likely they'll be put down.
I know.
So you have to think about those things, right? Look at Pace with the bunny stories. The lady wouldn't sell the house because of those bunnies. That's your family. So you need to think about what happens if I pass away, what's going to happen to us? They'll be euthanized,
Right.
And
Well, and she's been with her boyfriend now, what, 7 years? So,
yeah.
how does that work?
How
There's
does he navigate that? Yeah, so she needs to so anything that she's gonna leave to him, so whatever agreements that they have, maybe they bought things together, she needs to put those on there because you as a mom, you come in and you don't know those agreements. And now if something happens and she's gone, how are you gonna honor that? How do you know it's true?
Yeah.
She needs to write those things down,
Yeah.
right? And then also with the power of attorney, if something happens to her and she doesn't pass away, who's gonna who's gonna make those calls,
Yeah.
to put her on life support, to
Right.
do a do not resuscitate.
Right.
The amount of times that I've had signings at a hospital where they're all like, my grandpa had a stroke, but he's fine and he needs to sign this power of attorney. And I go there and the guy's like literally on life support, could barely move. And I'm like, I can't sign them legally. I can't. Like, I don't know you guys. I don't know if you're trying to scam him out of his house.
Right.
I don't know, the situation. And I've had to call the doctors in and I'm like, hey, they want me to sign him. I don't feel comfortable. What do you think? They're like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
he's so drugged up on morphine and hands are swollen. They'll be like, oh, he can't even pick up a pen.
Wow.
You don't want to wait until you're in that situation
No.
to start getting your documents in order.
So,
So
you're talking and something I was thinking about. What a wonderful gift to give my kids for Christmas or their birthdays or something, to
yeah,
sing with you and just have it taken care of. Just this is
100%.
this is something you need. It's never too early to start.
No,
And wow, that's a really good idea. I think
I did set up on my website a gift card option. So for people that want to do it, mostly like too for like a housewarming gift. When you buy a house, instead of
yeah,
buying me pots and pans, buy me a trust.
yeah,
Let me protect my house.
wow,
But it is a perfect gift for like as soon as you turn 18, you're an adult. So that's a great gift for when you're 18. And if your things change and your situations change, which they do, then you just get a new one when the situation changes. And mostly you're getting a new trust. Within a year, we could edit things for free.
so is
After a
it
year, then we have to create a whole new one. And that's mostly like if you want to remove someone.
mhm. So is it irrevocable trust or revocable trust? Which one?
Revocable living trust is the ones that I work with. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So revocable living trust, you can make changes and all that, but it's never too good to have too many amendments to the trust because then it adds gray area if something were to happen to you, and then like if it has to go in front of a judge or whatever, they're like, okay, this was amended, that was amended. There's so many changes. I
Yeah.
heard a story about someone that they kept using the trust as collateral for the kids to behave. So the dad would put the kids on the trust and then he would get mad at the kids, take them out of the trust. And then they were good, then put them back on the trust.
Yeah.
You're adding too much gray area and
Yeah.
too much room for someone else to step in and be like, well, he was going to add me and he didn't. And now it has to go, in front of people to make those decisions. So
But tough car chase.
yeah, it's too much of a mess.
Yeah.
But usually when you create it, you'll cover it where it's like your current kids and then any kids that come after would be on there. If there's someone that you don't want to put on there, so say you have an estranged child and you no longer speak, you have to put them on there. Like this person is getting nothing. I did not forget about them. I am leaving them out on purpose so that later they don't come and try to do that. But then you
Well,
also have to, you put on there your wishes. What do you want to happen in the event that you do pass away? Like for me, I don't want a funeral at a church. I don't want an open casket. I want to be cremated. And I'm probably gonna set this up beforehand where I like have this is my little side quest that I'm gonna do is I want to start doing legacy videos. So
Smart.
I would interview you for you to tell me about your childhood, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes for your kids, and just like get to know you, have a conversation. Something that your kids probably haven't had to that level, just to get to know you as a person.
Wow.
And I keep saying, I wish I would have had a video of my mom at my age to understand like what she was going through. You know, to me, my mom has always been my mom. She's always been when I was little. She was the lady that took care of me. My mom, she's an adult.
Yeah.
You know, as a teenager, I still didn't have that close relationship. Now, as an adult, I could have those conversations with her.
Yeah.
But I'm not having those conversations with her at my age. I'm having conversations with her now that she's had all this life experience. So it's different,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a great.
So,
I like that, especially if you couple that with setting up the trust and why.
yeah.
For instance, for me, if I'm giving the kids a gift like this to set it all up, a video that accompanied that, that would be, and why I think it's so important. And I like that. That's good, Liz.
Yeah, thank you. I want that sentimental, that connection, that story, because the sad thing that I do see a lot of people when I talk about trust and stuff is that they're all like, "Well, I don't have anything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, you know." I'm like, "But you have a life.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
lived a life. You've been here for, you have people that love you. You've had a life experience. You have something to teach. You know, what Pace tells us all the time too. When we create content, you have something to teach. You're doing stuff. And I don't think people should die without telling their story.
I absolutely agree. And if you're fortunate to be one of those people that Pace talks about, that what, every 65 or 70 years a family member comes along and changes the course of the family history. If you happen
Yeah.
to be that person, how did you do that? Or how did you feel you were that person that was going to have that happen to? That's another thing. I
Yeah.
feel my family, I feel that I'm changing the course of things. And I just always felt a little different. Like, oh, I don't really fit in. I don't know. I've just felt very fortunate how I look at about life, and yeah, it would be nice to document that. I saw something online the other day, and I started bawling, and my friend came over. She goes, "What are you crying about?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is me. It's the first time I've ever seen my personality articulated. 6 pages." I'm like, "Wow." It's just so nice to be understood, and so that's where I see this happening. If you had a video of somebody, of your family, you could feel like you were understood, and why is it so important?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
100%.
How could people get a hold of you, and how could I set this up for my kids for Christmas or
Yeah,
holiday, birthday, or
absolutely. I'm gonna give you my Instagram, and then from there they could send me a DM, and then my contact card is on there. So my Instagram is Liz Galvan, PR.
PR?
Yeah. So LizGalvan, PR.
Okay, great.
And they could send me a DM. I have my link tree up there where they could also book a free consultation. The consultation will be over the phone, and then we'll just answer any questions.
Hmm.
The package costs $11.97 for the trust package,
Nice,
and I believe it's $4.97 for the will package.
nice. Oh,
Yeah. And it's something that's necessary and boring to talk about. People don't like talking about death and things like that, but that's why I want to bring in that aspect of the video and making it personal and getting to know people. And it's great for me too, because I mean, as a notary, I would be in rooms with people and they're excited because they're buying their house, or they were excited because they were selling their house and going on a new adventure,
yeah,
or they were sad because they lost the house because they lost a loved one, and then I'm able to comfort them. So I want to be part of people's lives, and I feel in a world that's so full of technology, we're so disconnected, but we feel like we're connected, like we have a relationship with the people that are in our social media feeds. But this, I want it to be more real. I want to know
yeah,
people's stories. I'm so curious to know how people's lives, and it blows my mind every time when I'm like driving or I see someone, like that person has a whole other world
yeah.
in their like their little orbit.
Yeah, it'd be nice to crack it and get inside and see what they're all about. Yeah,
Yeah,
feel that way.
definitely.
That's one of my gifts, I think. So I'm always able to draw people out. I mean, I don't, you know me, I don't talk a lot. Maybe
Yeah.
that's it, that people talk to me, and I get them to open up, and it's a nice gift to have.
Yeah. And
'cause
that
you
is great.
if you listen.
Yeah, but that is great what you do. And I feel like I need to practice on doing that too. Because if you're quiet and you let people talk, people are so hungry to tell their story.
Mhm.
And I could tell when I do it. I was I had a whole hour conversation with the doorman downstairs when I was on my way to the grocery store. I'm like, okay, I need a little more human interaction. I'm like, poor guy. I sat there with him for a whole hour, but he was really nice.
I
But we need that, right? We all crave that to be heard.
We
Yeah.
do.
So
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you for being on here, and I can't wait to connect with you and get this rolling and set my kids up so they don't have to
Yeah,
work. So that'd be great.
perfect. Thank you.
And I always invite people to come back in a couple of months to just catch up and find out where you're at, and hopefully that can happen, and we'll connect again hopefully before Miami.
Yes,
Jim?
absolutely. I'll be in Puerto Rico, so I could come live from Puerto Rico.
Okay. Okay.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.